Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Oh, no.
There was always a longing for more, a deeper connection. Was disconnecting from the source within. There were parts of my core, senseless and frozen. Wisdom hidden, locked up in my soul. Oh, now it's the time to realign, reconnecting my foundation, reunite. Oh, I'm digging, got my feet on solid ground. No more levitation.
All right. Hello and welcome. Okay, everybody. So we're just going to take a moment here to settle in. I'll read chat here and there, and then we'll get into some stuff. We're going to do a pretty standard rundown through Bitcoin into shitcoins. We will... muted? Am I muted? You punked me, bro. You got me. The classic you're muted while you're talking troll. You got me, boys. Alright, so yeah, it's gonna be a pretty standard stream. We're obviously gonna have a couple of extra topics woven in here around ETF talks, and then we'll talk about flows here and there too, because there's been some interesting stuff going on. And then if we have time, then I will probably dive into the conversation around Binance dominance, because it's I put out a tweet about that. It's been something I'm observing for probably like a year to 2 years now, and I do find it pretty interesting. So hopefully everyone's doing well. I'm going to scroll up. Thank you to all the regular viewers. I'm not going to read out every individual name because there's a million of you in here, but I do see all you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys showing up. BTC pumps during the stream. Are we pumping, boys? All right, let's go ahead and let's get into it. Just annihilating sellers, no big deal. Okay, so yeah, I mean, things are crazy right now, guys. Hopefully, hopefully you weren't short into yesterday. Kind of a little bit out of order, but something I wanted to, bring up is that, when you're going into these kind of events, I said this on Twitter, I said this on, my recent Outlook, and even the streams and stuff last week, right? Like, being short into these kind of events is really stupid, right? Like, even being long into them is arguably pretty risky because, like, I was long into yesterday, and I would argue that that's actually pretty risky and pretty stupid. And sometimes I just make that decision to be an idiot, and it pays off a lot of the time because I'm a lucky person. But being short into yesterday was basically max stupidity. I can't really I didn't see any logic into that, right? If we're gonna go down, right? So we're going in tomorrow. If we're gonna nuke, we're not just gonna go down, right? We're obviously gonna go up and take shorts out first. So I had a lot of reply guys telling me that they were short into yesterday, and not a vindictive person. I hope that they're all alive right now, because we just chugged up 8% yesterday, real slow. Like, we actually, whoa, fuck, just punched my mic. We actually started off the day pretty rough. It went down like 2% off the open, so it was like in total it was like a 10% Dalai Lama day on Bitcoin, which is pretty big. So I'm going to go ahead and get into some high time frame outlook, and then we'll work our way down into the lower time frame. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I do have a fairly decent amount of stuff I want to cover today. Not so much on the higher time frame, but a lot more nuanced topics. So yeah, sit back and enjoy. If you guys have any questions, comments, any topics that you want me to get into that I'm not currently talking about, just throw them in the chat. I would ask that you guys hold off on the altcoin tickers until we get to the altcoin section. I'll go ahead and save you all the altcoin time that you're going to need right now. It's that, like, pretty much 99% of altcoins are garbage right now, and there's like 1% of altcoins that I actually want to trade. So let me get this frog out of my throat and clear, get some water real quick. Hold on. Time of the year, it's like I'm not even sick, but every now and then I just keep getting congestion randomly. It's kind of weird. I think it's just it got super cold where I live recently. I think that's what it is, probably. Our temperatures dropped like legit 30-40% in like a week. Okay, let's get into some Bitcoin stuff. So I'm gonna keep the macro talk pretty short and sweet because nothing's changed, so there's really nothing to really, you know, highlight here. So essentially, I guess something has changed, right? Is that my plan is more materialized, right? So at this point, you know, up until the beginning of the week, what we were focused on was the current range and then where we will go if we get outside of the range. So what we were working with before Monday was we were currently trapped, or we were previously trapped under the 2021 yearly VWAP, right? And we expected that to continue to hold its resistance, and then the support region was, the macro support was 38k, but like we had talked about a bunch of times, the real actual support was these kind of singles and the band over here at 40k. So we expected to be basically range bound between 44k and 40k. If we get above 44k, then we expect to be able to go all the way towards 54k. If we get below, the downside targets are a lot more shallow and more controlled. If you get below 40k, then you go to 38k. If you get below 38k, then you go to 32k. I still maintain the bias that if we come into the 32k region, that this is where you want to be sending your mega dip buying, you know, bull run, you know, send it buys, right? Basically 32 down to 29k is macro dip buying territory. If you start to get below 29k into the 28s, 27s, then I'm probably bearish, and that we probably go to 25 from there. So I don't really think that we need to worry about 32k anytime soon. Bulls show no signs of stopping in the immediate picture. So I think, you know, it looks like we should be accepting above. Let's clean this up really quickly. I know it gets a little crackheady right there. Basically, as long as we're holding above this, the more time spent up in this region, the more likely we are to go up here. And as somebody who's been bullish and is positioned, you know, long, I'm all for this. So it would be incredible if we could just, you know, spend some sideways price action up here and then just do another leg up into here and then, you know, run this kind of situation back again. That's probably what would happen if we successfully make it up to 54k. What will probably happen is that we will either see the triangle range form. Hold on, let's redraw that. We could do better than that. A classic triangle range form right into this kind of region, or like more of a classic kind of actual balanced range. One of these two kind of things is what we would expect up here. If we get, you know, I guess I need to start making next secondary. I haven't even thought about this myself, so let's do this in real time on the stream, right? I actually haven't thought about what's going to happen if we get above 54k. So let's clean everything up on the chart. I'm going to zoom out to a higher time frame, and then we will see what kind of upside resistance we have, because I don't actually think we have much to worry about beyond 54k. So let's go to the 3-day first. I don't really like operating on high time frames like this, but you have to for the purpose of this, what we're doing right now. So right, our main focus is the 2021 value area high. That's my main focus for resistance. I think if we get above that, I could see theoretically a situation where we were to get slightly above it and then deviate back below it, because this is definitely going to be supply. But if we start getting above 54 and we're like, you know, especially if we were doing like an upward swing of the triangles, right? This is the best kind of triangle, by the way, boys. This right here, it's much better than this. There's a distinct difference, right, when you have equal highs. I could see something like that forming. And to be honest, guys, like, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. If we get above 54k, then we're in a bull market and we're going to be, you know, we're going to like, you know, 70k next or something like that. So I'm not trying to get too horned up and get carried away, because I always want to keep myself level headed so I don't, you know, screw up basically. But things are looking pretty good to the upside. Let's go ahead and go back to the 12-hour and take a look at this and make sure there's nothing else I really need to cover, right? So, you know, I covered our, you know, what our expected range was. I covered where we should be headed now. If we lose 40, you know, I basically would say if we lose 50 or 45k, then we're probably going to trade back towards 38. But I will cover that in more detail when I zoom into lower time frame. But as far as the higher time frame goes, that's pretty much it, right? We expected to be range bound between here. If we got above or below, these were our regions that we went to. It does currently look like we are getting above the resistance and that we should go higher. And, you know, if we were to get back below this, you know, I'd be bearish. And most likely, I would probably try to flip to bearish before we got this kind of loss of the level. The only reason why I wouldn't probably successfully flip to bearish before we lose this would be if it just does this, right? If it just, like, goes down there in one candle, then I'm probably not going to be able to react, obviously. Okay. Let me check chat, make sure there's no questions. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next part of the Bitcoin rundown. Did you hit big time on the big time? No, I missed big time, even though I called it. Don't worry, we will run through shitters in about probably 25 minutes from now, maybe a little less, depending on how long this takes. Kramer calling for the top, classic. Yeah, he was calling for the bottom and the top, all in the past 2 weeks. Crazy. What about shorting altcoins as Bitcoin dominance goes up? Yeah, so like I definitely wouldn't recommend shorting altcoins either, going into these kind of events, right? Because if Bitcoin does another leg up, altcoins are probably already in the process of playing catch up to Bitcoin. That's what I was saying in the group last night. So I think, yeah, I mean, altcoins will probably start to play catch up to Bitcoin over the next couple of days, as long as Bitcoin doesn't nuke. And then if Bitcoin legs up again, alts would really leg up in a major way. So yeah, even though I'm kind of pessimistic on altcoins, which again, I'm going to go over this in more detail later in the video, but, I wouldn't really recommend shorting altcoins either, right? My thesis going into the beginning of the week was the only thing I wanted to really trade was Bitcoin. I said this on the outlook that you guys should have already been able to have watched, right? Because I put it out yesterday, and I said it on the streams even last week, I believe too. I didn't want to have any altcoin positioning going into this week from a derivative standpoint. I do actually hold spots still, but that's a topic for another time. So I'll get into shitcoins when we get there. So you guys are spamming altcoin stuff, so we're gonna ignore that. Bitcoin to low 30s again with low ETFs available. Gonna enter sailor mode. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really expect that we're going to come to 30K anytime soon. But if, whenever we do, assuming nothing has changed within the context of the market, I want to buy the fuck out of this region. I'm very seldom am I interested, especially basically ever since like Q2 of last year. I haven't really been interested in buying spot anymore. Coming back to 32 would be the next, kind of final reason why I would want to actually buy spot. Otherwise, I'm just comfortable with my current allocation if we want to just keep going up. Everyone's talking about billions getting into the market. What is the reasoning of getting back to 32 over the long run? I mean, I don't have like a reasoning. I'm just saying it could come back to here. I don't have control over the direction of the market. I just, I read the tea leaves, so to speak, and try to follow the momentum. I could see a reason where we come back, or I could see a reality where we come back to here. Maybe either we trade up higher first and build a range up here and then kind of come back, or we, maybe we just reject from here, get back below our major resistance and then we could flip to bearish and then trim back down to here and then go back up. I mean, and make another kind of lower high within this larger trend, right? Because that's what we've been doing for a while now. I said lower high. I meant to say higher low. I always say that shit backwards for some reason. But yeah, I'm not sitting here saying that like I have a thesis for us to come back to this. I'm actually bullish. I think that we're far more likely to go up right now than we are to go down. I'm just saying that super high time frame, which is what the purpose of this chart is for me. There is a possibility of coming back to 32, and if we come back to that, you're gonna want to buy that. I've been saying that for months now, and you will. I promise you that if we come back to this and nothing major is changed in the market, you'll regret it in the following months if you don't buy it. Where would you look to add new trades if spot only? Well, that's that basically, right? I probably would send some futures trades here as well, but this is a spot level for me, right? 32K. The other scenario, which is something to lay out, right? So this is my primary spot addition zone, right? And to be clear, I'm already pretty bagged up. I bought a lot of spot at the beginning of last year, so it's not like I need to buy more. I just kind of want to because I'm greedy, right? We all are. The other scenario for dip buying, theoretically, this could be the next macro dip buying zone where we get like our next kind of major lower high. The more likely scenario for us setting this as the next major low is if we trade up higher, build a range up here, maybe come back, bloop, and do something like that. It probably doesn't look like that exactly, but if we trade up higher first, then maybe 38K is macro dip buying zone, which probably would basically be described as 40 to 38K to be specific. That's how I would define that. Anyways, I'm going to move on from that topic. Arthur said there's just going to be a 25% flush in March. Yeah, I mean, okay. Arthur could have said that, and that would have been legit in 2019, right? Because he could have created that. But that's a little... I like Arthur, don't get me wrong, but that's a little out there to just predict that. But I'm all for that, right? If the year starts out bullish, we're gonna bait people in. If we do a big dump, I mean, 25% isn't even a lot, guys. Like, look at what's 25% nuke from where we're at right now. It's not even gonna be that big of a deal. It's literally coming into my dip buying zone, right? So like, yes, this would obliterate a lot of traders, but yeah, we should be prepared for a possibility of this happening. Something like that will happen one day. We got a really good example of that this day, right? Which we'll go over on lower time frame, which is opportunity to long, which hopefully some of you guys took. The fact Kramer said we were topping out, the market may... I don't know what you're saying, but all right. Sounds good. Magus, if you like 30K, what is the best way to... If you have, like... I thought you were talking about 30K. If you have... like 30K, what's the best way to grow account? I only trade stocks due to my country not being friendly with crypto. Just trade trending stocks. I mean, so I'm not going to weigh in on, like, you know, any of that kind of regional information or anything like that. All I'll say is that, like, if I want, you know, if I wanted to grow my trading capital, I would properly define my systems up into multiple systems. I would have a positional trading system, which is basically just swing long spot, right? You want to have some sort of like portfolio, right? Where you're swing long on spot over the next few years. You probably want to have, you know, and then honestly, if for maximum profitability, I would swing long spot and run momentum / Dalai Lama plays on shitcoins. That's how I would. This is the best way to make money, right, in my opinion. Positional long term, hold spot, occasionally, very, very, very rarely, hedge it out to protect it from downside. Then run momentum and Dalai Lama strats when there is momentum in the market. When there's no momentum in the market, scalp. If I wanted to max, I mean, this is basically what I do. I do have a couple extra systems that are not included in this list, but this is effectively what you want to do to maximize profitability, in my opinion. That's actually pretty useful for some of you guys if you're noobs. All right, we're going to move forward. I keep getting a lot of questions, so I'm going to kind of just low-key ignore you guys for a minute so I can get through this. No offense, lads. I just want to stay focused. So on the medium time frame, there's a few different things I wanted to discuss here, right? So let's start top to bottom on medium time frame. Ever since I set this chart up, or I rearranged it rather, once we had this major 34K impulse, this was a huge up move, right? This move basically reignited the bull run from the kind of 25K, right? We had good support here. We got this big impulse, which ignited this trend. And we, you know, just to do a little bit of review, we talked a lot on literally every platform I make content. We talked a lot about when you have a momentum drive up or down, it does not matter. You should not be trying to fade it and expect it to come back. Whenever you have a momentum drive that's off the back of real flows, you're going to continue to go in that direction. So what happened, right? We triangle memed into another up move, into a triangle meme, which hopefully is resolving into another up move right now. So yeah, that's a good lesson, right? Don't fade momentum. I know everybody thinks that they're a fucking master meme reverting trader over here, but there's a reason why I call it meme reversion, because you're literally just shooting yourself in the foot because you don't know how to do it right. Honestly, mean reversion is way harder than momentum for consistency. So like we had talked about, right, we were really emphasizing and analyzing this from the impulse. So we flop on our anchored from there, which gives us a really good idea of where things are at, right? Currently, with the current range, what I'm working with, there's a couple of key things, right? So this is the composite structuring for the range right here that you can see. At the beginning of the week, what I was looking for was I wanted to see this high volume node hold and this low volume node hold. As long as we were developing value right here, I was bullish. And I even drew my little doodle, which I'm going to go and claim clout on after I turn the stream on, because I actually doodled this fucking perfectly. Yeah, I've been tweeting a lot recently. Sorry to you guys if you guys follow me on Twitter and I'm spamming Twitter too much. I've just been having fun joking around, to be honest. But here. Oh no, come on, man. Don't fuck me up like that. I mean, That's pretty close. Close enough. Close enough to collect clout, surely. Okay, anyway, sorry guys, I got off focus. So at the beginning of the week, that was my plan. I wanted to see us hold above these regions because we were compressing into the range high, and I have a lot of other contextual signs to be bullish. One of the things was, look at how once this liquidation event happened, which was one of the largest liquidation events we've ever seen, it literally just went from range high to range low, and it was the second highest liquidation event I've ever traded. So what happened after all the longs got liquidated? What happened? Spot chart started leading, huh? So I got pretty bullish because of that, if I'm being honest. So I bought the fuck out of this dip, which I'm still holding some of those trades. Basically, I bought a bunch of Bitcoin positions on this dip, which I'm still holding. All the altcoin trades that I bought on this, I sold in the same day, which somehow, like, say, did like a 45% intraday move on this day, which was wild. So currently what I'm working with from a thesis standpoint are, let's delete these stupid random lines that I'm drawing by accident. I want to see us continue to trade up, but us pulling back is not the end of the world. So we're currently building this little distribution right here above this composite structuring. I think this is from 2022, this comp, right? So as long as we're holding above this, we should be pretty bullish to expect us to trade up towards here. If we lose this, then we're looking at, trading around this high volume node with this macro composite right around 45K. If 45K is lost, then we're coming back all the way down here. If this is lost, then I'm bearish, to be honest, right? I'm going to be medium term bearish if like these kind of three regions don't hold. I wouldn't even expect us to come all the way back to 44. I think that like 46 and 45 should hold as support. Let me clean up the drawing. So effectively, I think that we'll build a distribution up here. And from there, right, whichever way we break from this is going to be the key thing, right? So the longer time we spend up here, the more likely we are to go up. I think that most of the signals say that we should go up. The only thing that I'm really worried about is the idea that, like, let's say tomorrow the ETFs start getting approved. We're probably, like, if the ETFs get approved, we're probably going to drift up right off the back of that. We might even just have some crazy, just like fucking monster rocket up candles. But what happens after that is the main thing for me. So if we get a kind of an up move that is really rapid off the back of the ETF stuff getting approved, I'm probably going to shed risk into that, because I do see, as much as I don't want to be a sell the news, or I could see the reality where we've been getting bid up all this time off the idea that the ETF comes out, we go up, and then we potentially go down, and I don't want to round trip my P&L. So that wouldn't be me necessarily being bearish or anything. It's just I don't want to give back my money. So probably would shed risk if we did something like that. But anyways, that's pretty much it for medium time frame, guys. I'm going to go ahead and digress from that. Catch up with chat, and then let me see. I don't really care about any of the other Bitcoin charts at the time. So we'll probably move on to shitcoins here. Hold on, guys. I missed a lot of chat. I even fucked up my chat box earlier. So hold on. Let me scroll up in the chat and then see what we got here. What do we got? Cryptoski said there will be a dip. Confirmed. His reasoning is the macro conditions with the Treasury not doing reverse repo and FOMC meeting. Yeah, so Fern, like, here's the thing is that, like, you guys that have watched me for a while know that I don't want to pretend that I'm smart. So I'm not going to sit here and get into fucking bond markets, repo market. I don't fucking care about credit markets and shit. It's just outside of my wheelhouse, right? I do what I do, and I'm comfortable within my realm of thinking about things. It seems to work for me, if I'm being honest, right? Coin outran Bitcoin this year and so many other stonks. So yeah, play those. Yeah, you're probably responding to the guy talking about growing his account. Yeah, for sure. At the moment, just buy spot. Recently bought Nvidia, thinking I am trading at mega caps, a smaller player. But like I said, crypto is not that feasible for me. I mean, yeah, you got to do whatever you got to do, my guy. I gave you the most honest answer of how I would do things, but you got to sort it out to fit your own approach, you know? Can we get those likes up? Yeah, that's facts, honestly, from Fern, guys. I got 168 of you in here right now, and I got 38 likes. That's not okay. I know I've already dropped several pieces of useful information for you guys. Whether you're going to use it or not, it's on you, but give me some likes for show. My bitrate is really low today, so the stream's super delayed. I don't know why my computer's lagging right now. Why would you go against the cartel? Confirmed. Clout collection successful, +5 clout points. Get that clout, you know? It's the most vain thing I do in my entire life. I try to not really act in it, you know, do things for the vanity, but it's fun to do on Twitter, I won't lie. I could do it a lot worse too, trust me. Left Curve wants me believe me that the reports of billion sidelines USD for the ETF approval. Yeah, so honestly, how I'm viewing this, I tweeted this yesterday. I think that like low IQ people are bullish, midwits are concerned and bearish, and then I think smart people are pretty bullish, right? Regardless of how things play out in the long run, the ETF stuff is super bullish for us. Is my opinion, at least. Somebody could maybe debate that if they feel like it, but you know, who knows what the flows are going to be like in the first week, right? We might just get fucking bought up right away, or theoretically, you know, we could sell off. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and predict what the flows will be because I don't know. I react to the flows. I don't predict. Do you draw those comp volume regions manually or just a box? I draw them manually, yeah, and then delete the tools and leave the boxes most of the time. Some sexy profit taking. Will you be putting crazy low limit orders around the event? No. I'd rather just wait and react. If I ever do resting orders, they're really small normally, guys. There's anybody that fucks around with resting orders too much is going to experience the one day where they just get run the fuck over. And I'm not interested in putting myself at risk that way. When Aston Martin, I've never bought myself a nice car. I have all my vehicles are old, actually. The only vehicle that I didn't need to buy that I bought for myself last bull market was I bought a Jeep Wrangler that's literally older than I am. But it wasn't expensive because it was old as shit. It's my project. What alts do you like to accumulate? We'll talk about alts. I don't really like to predict accumulation stuff. Just here for the memes. You gotta dislike it just to be contrarian. Facts. Damn, Jaggers. You're really hyping me up. You've been brilliant. Thanks, bro. Can't tune in a lot, but since the start of 2023, you've been spot on. The bias switch was great. Seeing you nail the spot plays has been great to see. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I'm super fortunate that I've been on the right side of momentum for the past several years. The only really big mistake I made was in May of 2021. I definitely fucked that up where I did not have my risk controlled, and that drawdown annihilated me. I lost a lot of money in May 2021, but other than that, yeah, I've been very fortunate to be on the right side of momentum over and over again. I don't know. I'm just a lucky guy. That's all it comes down to, I think. I work hard and I'm lucky. I think that's all it comes down to, guys. You guys have probably heard there's that cliche that like success is a combination of luck and preparation, and I truly believe that, right? You like the music? Awesome. Yeah, it's Diablo lo-fi. Been on the video game lo-fi recently. You should buy yourself a Porsche. You know what's funny that you say that, Noah, is that is actually the car that I have on my list. The main issue is I have been struggling with like what time signature to buy, right? I've been looking at like older ones, and the modern ones look fucking wild. But yeah, it's funny. A Porsche is actually going to be my final reward to myself one day. I haven't brought myself to spend money like that unnecessarily yet. I really am only good at spending money to make more money. I can't really spend it for no reason. A lot of alpha and swing position and spot chilling for sure. I mean, spot chilling for me, you know, I had some wild trades last year. I would need to go review my journal, but I'm pretty sure my spot chilling with Solana and Bitcoin outperformed most of my other trading. I'm not 100% on that though. I need to double check. more of a 93 Civic kind of guy with automatic seat belts. Yeah, the one you sit down and the seat belts automatically go back. Those things were wild for a minute. What's your take on ETH BTC? Oh no, you don't want to hear me bully ETH. Yeah, I'll talk about ETH when I get to altcoins. I'll do ETH before the other shitcoins. What about the delay for the ETF being confirmed? I'm pretty sure that a delay is basically ruled out. That is a possibility, but I think it's the lowest possibility out of all of them. '50s truck. Ooh. Bought my mom a Paragon sub. That's a W Christmas present right there. Started using VWAPs after watching you. Has helped me a lot. Instead of losing a lot, I've started to break even. Much gratitude. Hey man, you know, that is part of the process for us. Normally, I think the most cliche kind of process, like pattern, is that you start out, you actually win a lot at the beginning because you're too stupid to even know what you're doing, and then you lose a lot. And then the process of like becoming less stupid comes through, where you start to break even, and then you start to learn how to make money, and then you lose it, and then you make money back again, then you lose it, and then you learn how to make money and not lose it, and then you start going up over time. Boom. Just making shit up on the fly. Big doodles. I watched Training Day the other day, so I've been saying boom like 7 times a day. Aston Martin or GTFO? That's an L take, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why, I've just always been really interested in the Porsche, the wide body Porsche, bruv. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're just fucking sexy vehicles, I can't lie. Yeah, for sure, Walt. Yeah, shout out Charlie and the spaghetti. Spaghetti be cooking. What up, Lear? Paragon ladies. What up, Bozo? That curve looks familiar. That's because that's probably the most... I could doodle it again. That is the most probably common type of like... I don't mean like what your... If you go log into your futures account, what is your P&L curve like? But your total trading career probably looks something like doing kind of well at the beginning and then losing it all. And then learning how to be a break-even trader, learning how to make money, losing it, making it, losing it, making it, losing it, making it. And eventually you learn how to avoid this massive drawdown after you make it. And then maybe your drawdown is only half of that. And then you make money, right? That's literally like what happens to people. That's what success looks like, is what I should say. Because most people's P&Ls probably end up doing this. Right? If we're being honest here. All right, I'm getting off topic. We're going to do altcoins here real soon. What allocation did you decide between Bitcoin and Solana? I mean, I don't actually know exact percentages. I don't really do a good job of hard tracking like my net worth, if I'm being honest. I don't even know how much money I have. But yeah, I mean, I put, so the way I'm gonna sound stupid right now, and a lot of my stuff is stupid. The reason why I bought Solana is because I literally found a Solana wallet that had I had found a Phantom wallet that had a bunch of Sol in it that I didn't sell. So I was like, oh well, here's a bunch of Sol. Maybe I should buy some more Sol. So I bought Litecoin and Sol, and then sold my Litecoin right away. My total allocation, I mean, I probably had like 20% Sol or like 15% Sol, but I don't actually know. And I don't really like to make up numbers if I don't really know. But the vast majority of it was Bitcoin. And I had like less than 1% ETH. When do you use anchored VWAPs and where do you start using them from? So I primarily use anchored VWAPs for either A, charts that don't have enough, they're brand new charts, they don't have much history, so I can get a VWAP to work with, and B, like key swing points. So that's the answer. Either you start it at a key point in the chart, either a swing point or a moment of importance, or you can put it at the beginning. I can relate to that, drawing on it. We all can. Billy Mays here. I was thinking that looks like Dunning-Kruger. Yeah, it looks like Dunning-Kruger. I took the Dunning-Kruger concept and I made Dunning-Kruger 2.0, which there's a couple extra levels you can add on to it, which I didn't really cover today. You take a look at Nvidia. All right, brother, for you. And then I'm going to get into altcoins right now. I don't really care about stonks. I also hate looking at this chart because I sold all my Nvidia in like 2018 or 19. I think I literally like sold all of my Nvidia over here. So I hate looking at this chart now because it's just max pain for me. This thing looks like a fucking monster, right? There's not much to say on this from a yearly standpoint. It's had multiple years, like 2015, 2016, 17. It had a rough 2018, but it still like was like a break-even kind of year for it, and then it went right into turbo 2020, right? So this thing is basically just had up only for years now. The structuring is really good on it. It looks like it's ready to send. I would be looking to buy like shallow dips. If you get them shallow dips into where it just broke out of into the $500 region, I would be buying it if that's how if I wanted to play this thing. But I'll just watch Nvidia go to $1 billion without me because I sold my whole bag. Because I used to be a stonk trader. Maybe you guys don't really know that, but I was a stonk guy way before a crypto guy. And Nvidia was one of my babies. I loved this fucking thing. All right, let's do some ETH BTC talk real quick, and then holy fuck, that's so wild. I did not expect it to do this. All right, guys, so I put out a tweet about this yesterday, and I wasn't joking. This is how I put out the tweet, where I just did the replay tool from all the swing points upwards and said, remember when you guys called the bottom, right? For a long time now, I've since my origin as joining the crypto space was buying ETH. ETH was the first thing I ever bought, and I've always loved ETH. I'm not like some fucking ETH head or some technical dude, but I just always thought like ETH's legit, right? Way before nowadays, people look at ETH as comparable to Bitcoin. For a long time, ETH was regarded as shitcoin, and I always gave it a little more respect. So I'll do a little bit of a preface that I want to be bullish on ETH. But all year long, and even last year, I haven't had a reason to be bullish on ETH in years. So until it gives me a reason to be bullish on it, I'm going to continue to bully the fuck out of it. So this basically like is entering capitulation stage where it's going to like trade all the way down into this region, I imagine. Anytime this thing pops up, it's going to keep getting faded most likely. This is the trend. The only thing I'll say is that it's a little Pavlovian of me to just say it's going to keep doing this. Maybe one day it will actually do a giga candle and then like make a trend structure, right? So that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for it to just be going down and then go up a lot one day, right? That doesn't mean dick. What you want it to do is you want it to be going down, go up a lot, and then make a fucking structure change. Reclaim a level and then put in a higher low and then put in a higher high. And once you start to see structural changes in this, then you want to be bullish. But let me make everything idiot proof for you guys real quick. Here's how you want to play ETH. You want to bully the fuck out of it for now and ignore it. Eventually, we will be in a clear risk on stage, which likely is probably after Bitcoin has made all-time highs and stuff. There will be a stage where you want to be long ETH for the ETH BTC rotation because this will undo all this eventually, right? But it's not here yet, and there's no signs of it being here yet. I don't think that it's even possible for that to come until the ETF stuff with Bitcoin is cleared up, and then maybe the ETH ETF can bring back ETH BTC from the dead. But for the time being, I've been bullying the fuck out of this for a long time. I'll look at it today and I'm surprised that it looks this bad, right? Even I'm surprised that it's down 3% today. ETH is just, there's just absolutely zero reason to be an ETH bull and absolutely zero reason to have allocation to it. So I got shit right at the beginning. I used to have people come on my stream last year. A year ago this time, I would say I have 0 ETH, but I got Solana, and people would give me shit. And look at last year what happened, right? I think that trend is going to persist for now. Solana's probably done in the time being, I would imagine, but ETH's probably going to keep doing this. So anyways, I'm going to digress from the ETH bully. Bro said Nvidia. Main dilemma is where to sell. So, I mean, I don't like giving advice like this, but like the reality is that when we're talking about buying Nvidia and holding it, right, you probably never sell it, right? It's like, you know, my dad bought like automotive stocks when he was a kid and he's held them his entire life. Like if you buy Nvidia when you're young, right, there's really just, and you don't need the money, just fucking hold it the rest of your life is honestly probably what you want to do. And I hate saying that because I'm telling you not to sell it, right, not take profit. But like personally, I'm not going to trade Nvidia to like make money tomorrow, right? I'm going to buy Nvidia to just park money in and to just fucking chill on it for the next 20 years. You know, I think that's how to look at those things. But you know, you got to make do with your situation. Everyone's working with different things, so it's hard for me to say. Do you trade stonks for a firm? Hell no, I was so dumb. That's so funny, dude. I'm just imagining, like, if I traded stonks for a firm back then in, like, so my stonk career was 2015 to 2018. I think I made my last commodities trade in 2019 on silver, which was a banger. But, if I traded for a firm back then, I could have single-handedly liquidated the firm. I was so dumb. We're talking about, you know, that's a lot of time. I've been doing this every day for all that time, more or less, right? Even when I had a job, I'll get home and immediately get on the grind. I was that fucking weirdo. That's why we're here today. I mean, finally, an ETH weekly Bitcoin, or an ETH BTC div on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, maybe my bullying is telling you to be bullish, but yeah. How do you evaluate strength at these lows, Magus, to start building along? Fern, can you give me more detail? Are you talking about ETH? When are you planning to sell your soul? I sold my soul to the devil a long time ago, James. When am I planning to sell my soul? So somebody asked me this on a recent stream. The honest answer is I don't know. You know, getting rid of something like Solana, ditching that bag is going to be something that I do incrementally for starters. I've been trying to get out of my soul bag. I wanted to have a reason to sell my soul bag for a long time now, and I just never have had a reason to. I'm going to keep holding it. I hung out with Sting the other day, and he made me more bullish on Sol, I'm not gonna lie. But that was it. Like, Sol was like at $70. I went over to his house, talked to him for a couple hours, and then all of a sudden Sol was at 120 the next day, and I was like, damn, thank God I didn't sell that bag. So my honest answer for when I'm gonna sell my Solana is I don't know, bro. You're gonna have to just keep watching the videos and wait until I have decided to do so, is my honest answer. How do you evaluate? Oh, I already read that. On ETH. So you're asking, how do you evaluate strength in these lows on ETH, right? The main thing I would say is you're looking for, I want to see like a daily structural change, right? Instead of it just doing, I did already depict this, instead of it just having a steady downtrend and then having these spikes up that get engulfed and continuing the downtrend, I want to see a structural shift. So I want to see it do that pop and not immediately bleed back all the way, like bleed back part of the way and do like a reclaim, right? So like if basically where we're at now, I could just draw it. If this is support and we kind of deviated this, and if instead of just bleeding down, if it kind of comes back up, does a pop and then does something like that, that would be a pretty strong structural shift actually for this thing to have momentum. So it needs to have a structural shift. It did try to do that right here, you know, so I guess it could get invalidated and stuff, but I want to see this thing making fucking higher lows on the higher time frame. But honestly, my main reason why we'll allocate to ETH will not be ETH BTC. It will be the gut feeling of we're in turbo risk on mode and I want to start accumulating ETH, because ETH will have its time to shine. ETH will have a moment where it outperforms Bitcoin, I think. It's just going to happen later into the cycle is all. Okay, everybody. I have sufficiently answered all questions and caught up with chat, so I'm going to run through some shitters from here, and then we'll start to wrap it up. Let me take a gander at the corn real quick. Fucking Discord messages, man. Wow. It's just, I mean, yesterday let's do a little review on this thing. When was the whipsaw? Right here. Very, very, very common for this to happen, right? And the anatomy of the whipsaw was take out the sellers, take out the shorters, take out the longers, and go up. Whipsaw anatomy, boys, 101. Very common when you have a trend to have a range, the whipsaw, and then continuation with the trend. I posted about this without clearly defining it. This happens so much, guys. I need to stop leaking everything, though, honestly. We're going to digress from that. Let's get into some shitcoin talk. Yesterday's felt so obvious to me, though. Premiums are getting real weak right now. Okay, let's run through some shitters. So, I don't really like hardly any altcoins. There's very, very few altcoins I like, so brace yourself. Ordinals is one of the altcoins I do like. I don't like how the yearly open is pretty bearish, to be honest, but overall, trend structuring is still healthy on this thing, and it looks to be like basically compressing right here to do another run. One of the main reasons why I like ordinals is because it's highly correlated to Bitcoin too, right? So if Bitcoin goes up, ordinals is going to go up more. Same thing with STX. I like INJ a lot still. I think INJ, a lot of altcoins did this kind of structuring where they made kind of the uptrend and then kind of lost their trend structuring right over here. Especially once you had this kind of rejections, right? A lot of them. A lot of the altcoins didn't recover like this. So let's delete all this. When we're looking at INJ was able to basically fully recover its trend structuring. So it's got the kind of deviations type price action. So as long as it's holding over this kind of region, this thing looks like it's going to go up into like the 70s, 80s next. So I like INJ still. It's pretty wild. I'm pretty sure, isn't INJ built on Atom? Like what chain is INJ on? It's like grossly outperforming its own chain. Next coin that I like is Maker. I'm not going to run through it in too much detail, but essentially it looks like a pretty decent buy the dipper. There's very few coins that actually have relative strength right now, so the ones that do, you want to pay attention to. Stacks is another one. Stacks was a ripper yesterday, and its trend structuring is very much still intact, and it looks really healthy, so this is a very obvious Dalai Lama time play. Same kind of argument with Say. Say's a lot weaker for sure, though, but the trend structuring is intact still, so I would basically say it's probably going to triangle meme and then go up again. Okay. Last one is going to be Tia. Tia continues to be a boss ass bitch. Honestly, this thing, the fucking incel boys are cooking with this thing. I think it just keeps making triangles and going up. So currently it's a little bit rough for where I would tell you to want to buy. Maybe like, maybe it's, what the fuck? We're boomerang. Hold up. Maybe it's gonna do a pullback and kind of like triangle up here, potential. We'll see. But I overall, I still really like this coin. All right, let me check your shit coins. I did say already. The Paragon mod is telling me I'm leaking too much. Love your thoughts on INJ. Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. Like I think that this thing's a dip buyer. Yeah. I'm being pretty careful, guys, with shitcoins right now. I'm not really interested in playing them. Bonk and Whiff finally caught a bid. Good for them. It only took Bonk going down 80% first. INJ looks different from the others. It definitely does. INJ is noticeably stronger than most of the other altcoins. The only other altcoin that really has incredible strength like that is one is going to be Stacks. STX is incredibly strong. It made it on the good schemes list, indeed. I'm not going to chart pal, sorry, bro. It's an Atom ETH bridge? No way. Isn't that wild, right? Like, a bridge for Atom is grossly outperforming Atom over like a 1.5 year period. Like, that's wild. And also means that some of the tweets I saw yesterday were fucking stupid. I saw one of the market cap meme tweets. Market cap of INJ going to the layer 1 compared to a layer 1 when it's a fucking bridge for a layer 1. Cosmos eco plays are looking strong. Yeah, it's very interesting to see how that Cosmos itself could be so weak, but their ecosystem coins could be so strong. Any thoughts on Tesla? No, not really. Thoughts on Tesla? I don't like how it's looking right now, right? It doesn't have like, it obviously has like a higher time frame trend, but I mean, yeah, this thing has been in a downtrend for a long time, so I don't know, I wouldn't want to buy this one as much because it looks like there's some pretty serious sell pressure coming in, right? All these lower highs. So this one does not look nearly as good. Nvidia looked like a fucking Giga Chad Jaggers, but that doesn't look very good in my opinion. Pendle? I haven't looked at Pendle in ages. I don't even think I have it on my list anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, it has a good trend, good-ish trend. Basically, this is where the trend failed, right? This part of the trend was pretty good. And then over here, all this is not good. So I don't really like how it's developing right now. Technically, it still has an uptrend, but I like other coins way more than this. I don't like this that much. Whew. Right, this thing's in big trouble, right? A lot of altcoins look like this, where they had the local uptrend getting carried off the back of Bitcoin, and since the yearly open, a lot of these coins are just getting obliterated, and I don't want to touch anything like that. Link. Yep, I mean, this is, if we scroll through altcoins, I'm telling you, I said this at the very beginning of the stream, 99% of altcoins are going to look like this. There's a small handful of INJs and TIAs in the world that actually look good. But yeah, Solana looks bad. Tokenomics on Atom are the fucking worst. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe that is why it just can never go up. Is Tesla a bridge? Yeah, confirmed. Thanks, brother. Yeah, if you could do me a favor, I don't even know how many likes I have. It's cut off. If you guys could press like for me. We got 155 of you in here, and we got 72 likes. If you could press like, I'd appreciate that. Helps a lot with the algo. I'm trying to grow the channel slowly and evolve it into something better. So what we do with this content here is we're only going to do more and more, guys. So if you help me help you, dropping comments, liking, any of that kind of stuff really helps us out. So thank you. And it's not just me too. Lear is the backbone of everything. He makes everything work that we do. So big shout out to Lear. I haven't given him a shout out in a little while. As an active Atom trader junkie, take my advice, don't touch this cursed coin. Facts. Yeah, I learned that a long time ago. I got blue balled way too many times by it in 2021, so not interested in trading it. Beam. Yeah, we can look at Beam. I kind of like Beam, but not like, it's not the best, right? The immediate trend structuring is kind of, or the higher time frame trend structuring on Beam is kind of okay, but I don't like how it's developing right now. Technically, it could be triangling, but again, I don't really like this type of triangle. I like the reciprocal of this. So I want equal highs, not equal lows. So this isn't my favorite kind of triangle for it to be forming. It looks okay overall, but there's a reason why it's not at the top of my list, right? There's a reason why it's just on my main. These are all my main scams over here, right? I got good scams, dollies, and main scams, or just regular scams. I want to prioritize the good scams. Okay. Do you play stops on ETF, news, events, trades? Fuck no, my guy. I don't really even use stops regardless of what kind of trading I'm doing. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't be using stops. I'm not really out here doing news trading either. OP? Yeah, I was trading OP a bit for a minute there. Where's OP at? It should be on my list. The fuck? Oh, right here, right in front of me. Yeah, so basically I don't like OP's immediate structuring. I was trading it a lot for a minute there. But if we zoom out on OP, this is the high. It had an all-time high breakout and retest, and it had a very lethargic interaction here. This should have retested this level and just giga chatted, right? And it looks pretty weak right now. So the fact that it's not responding off the all-time high retest and it's kind of rounded off with a weak open, not a good look on OP. So OP's probably coming back to the void for sure. It's going lower, I would imagine. Somebody asked about LDO. Oh, I kind of like LDO. LDO kind of recovered a bit. We'll go ahead and throw this into good scams. I like LDO. If I look at LDO right now, right, I like that it's breaking out. On high time frame, it appears to be breaking out. So that was, a key thing for me. And then I like how it's depicted, picturing over here where it actually has a pretty strong reclaim. We actually kind of like LDO. So basically I would say, we're bullish above this for it to do chop and eventually rise upwards. So I like this. I will actually keep an eye on LDO. Well done, sci-fi. Very seldom do I say coins are good that people put in the chat. Those ascending triangles remind me of the 6K Bitcoin days. Oh no, please don't remind me when I was losing all my money. Yeah, I do agree though what Walt said. You don't need to say the ticker like 10 times, bro. I didn't actually notice that you did that many times. Don't do that, please. I'll always get your tickers done. Unless they're turbo shitcoin. Render? Yeah, I kind of liked Render, but recently I removed it from my list because I didn't like, yeah, it has the classic weakness thing. So I was liking the trend structuring on this thing for quite some time, but current picture is not good. I don't like how it's developing. This is really weak. So it needs to do this, right? It needs to, you know, this is basically line in the sand kind of territory. It needs to do this. Break above it and retest it and then get bullish again. Otherwise, it's not looking good, bruv. Not looking good. FTM was one I was watching a little bit as well. I don't know where it went on my list, so I think FTM's probably in the gutter as well. Yeah, it's in the gutter, right? Very, very clear weakness. Compare this to the things I said are good, and it's obvious. Jesus, bonk. Yes, I don't really like Render. All right, I'm going to start to wrap up the tickers because we're starting to look at really dog shit tickers. So there's just no reason to look at these ones anymore. Origin. The fuck? What the fuck trades like that? Eey. Okay, Origin kind of looks okay because it has a pretty decent uptrend, right? Ish. Very, very choppy uptrend. It's at mega resistance right now. Basically, if you know it's at mega resistance right now, if it gets above this, then it can rip up a fuck ton. I don't really, you know, this is definitely not something I would pick though, right? I don't like how it's definitely trading like an illiquid low activity coin. I want to click buttons where all the other idiots are clicking buttons. This is a priority for me. Do you see the infamous airdrop fractal playing out on JTO? Is there a swap on this? Damn. Oh, we're big booty in it? Okay. Remind me next week to look at this one again then, because maybe we big booty this thing. Loop ring? You want me to look at loop ring, bro? I haven't looked at loop ring in a long time. My music ended. Loop ring? Ugh. Jesus Christ. Nah, bro. Nah. Local uptrend was kind of good, but like, nah. Not good, right? Not a good look for this guy. Looks rough. Yeah, I didn't go over cover Sol. I could do that. So yeah, mainly basically what I'm looking for on Sol is I'm looking for, you know, kind of bullish reclaim type of scenario. I want to see it show that obvious strength that INJ and others were showing. I want to see it do that. Otherwise, I will potentially be abandoning this bag in the not so distant future. I'm torn between wanting to just be a cycle bag holder or shedding the risk. It will be something I scale out of too. But yeah, I mean, it's currently Sol and it doesn't look good. It looks much better than some of the other altcoins, right? A lot of altcoins look worse than Sol. So we'll keep a close eye on it. I'm going to put it at the top of my list, actually, so I remember to look at it over the next couple days. Mina. I had Mina on my list. I mean, there you go. I immediately already know I don't like it. I don't like the yearly open picture on it. It needs to do a bullish reclaim for it to be, otherwise this thing has got a pretty nasty start to a yearly trend. And I need immediate strength in order to participate. I'm not trying to be a guy that buys something and then waits 7 days for it to go up. I don't want to do that if I can avoid it. Dog shit USD. Rune? I don't like Rune. So, I mean, I don't like trading Rune, so I'm not going to have too much to say on it, probably. I mean, yeah, it was on a giga trend, but I mean, it has the weak trend structuring immediately, so I don't like anything that looks like this. I did Mina, I did Radiant, or I guess I didn't do that. RD, the fuck is this? RDNT. I don't like it. Weak trend structuring. Yeah, we can look at big time. Yeah, so what I said on my more recent outlook, which a lot of you guys probably didn't see because this section probably got cut out of it, but I basically said I didn't like how this thing was resolving this triangle. So this is why I don't like these kind of triangles, right, with equal lows and lower highs, right, because it's telling you that the sell pressure is strong and that the bids are not strong, right? Bids are equal and sellers are moving down, right? Sellers are winning out. So I did not like this. I said I did not like this coin over here, and I think it went down a lot ever since then. Yeah, it went down 50%. So yeah, I said I don't like this coin. It has an okay kind of picture. So it's tough because right here it looks okay, and then overall it looks pretty bad. So what I would say is I'd be looking for it to put in strong trend structuring, so to start giving us an upward trend again, you know, and then maybe I would be bullish on it again. But it's staying on the scam list until it shows some strength, which the scam list is probably going to get purged out here pretty soon. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. I don't want to look at ICP, I'm not going to lie. Ordinals, I already did Ordinals. I like Ordinals. It's the top of my scam list. I think Ordinals is a good dip buying scam coin. Do you trade NFTs? Nah. Negative, brother. I hate NFT trading. Simple argument, boys. I want to trade liquid high participation markets, which is not the definition of an NFT market. If I want to buy something, I'm a taker. If I want to sell something, I'm a maker. I don't like that. I don't like that there's not enough flexibility in there. Currently, at least. That's subject to change. Been in bags waiting for 2 weeks. Tough place to be. You hang in there, then you capitulate, and then it pumps 2 days later. Facts. When do you think you'll be trading shitcoins again? Either A, if altcoins start to show a clear sign of strength, I will probably be interested in trading them, or if there's a resolution to the ETF, right? I want to see a resolution to the ETF stuff and or Bitcoin, you know, altcoin strength, and then I will trade them again. I didn't cover ETH betas. I'm not really interested in ETH betas overall. The only ETH beta that I really like is LDO. All the other ETH beta looks not that great to me. Thoughts on the fall of the Binance dominance? So I can talk on that a little bit, yeah. Why are diagonals such a popular setup in culture but play out poorly? Maybe because they're so obvious. I think that just you can learn how to trade, like you can learn the concept of diagonal in like 3 seconds. That's why they're just so easy, and when you look at charts it looks like they're easy, even though we all know that they're not. How do you decide when to delete coins from your watch list in Spaghetti? I don't really ever delete coins from my Spaghetti, and I don't really ever delete them from my watch list. I just drag them down, right? So if you look at my watch list, I just have my good stuff at the top, and then I have a lot of garbage at the bottom that I don't care about. No problem, Crispy. Thanks for your work. No problem, no problem. Solid stream as always. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Okay, so I don't want to dive into this conversation too deep because I'm already, you know, at that point in the stream where I'm tired and want to end it and do other things with my day. But very quickly, I just want to, you know, maybe I'll share this tweet. I think I can share tweets in the chat. This is my tweet. I've been tweeting a fucking lot recently, but I put this out there recently before I turned the stream on. And I've just been observing this for like 2 years now. Essentially, the takeaway is that Binance's open interest used to grossly overshadow any other competitor. So the next in line would have been Binance or Bybit, where Bybit would have like 3 billion in open interest, and Binance would have 20 or 30 billion, right? It was you know, anywhere from a minimum of 5x to potentially like 10, 15x the open interest, and the same thing with the volume. Something that's been interesting is that if we look at this, we've seen a very clear decline where Binance's main contract is only like 25 to 30% higher in open interest than Bybit. So essentially, what we're seeing is we're seeing the fall of Binance dominance. If we look at the volumes, Binance is still doing work on them, right? They're doubling their volumes, right? But it's just interesting to see, right? I've been in the space a long time, and very seldom do you actually see anybody that survives a long time. I think Barry is one of the names that sticks out to me as somebody that's actually survived a long time as a king. Normally people acquire power and market influence, and then they fuck it up, which I did say right in here, that basically people never defend themselves properly. So if you're interested, you can read this. Most of the lessons in here have nothing to do with the actual, like, what's taking place here. It's just something that's interesting to observe, and the main, like, it's not really even something that you're going to be acting on, right? There's no actionable shit here. Really, it's just something interesting to observe and to wait for somebody to come and replace them, right? Because if somebody loses dominance, it means it opens up an opportunity for somebody else to swoop in. So really, the main things you guys should take away from that tweet are have nothing to do with the technical side. These are important lessons, right? Power is fleeting for most. Chaos is a ladder. Shout out Game of Thrones. Instead of arguing on Twitter the past 2 years, you should have spent time repositioning on the chessboard. You should view the crypto space like a board game. And a lot of people sat there hurting their positioning on the chessboard by arguing with people, having tantrums, being stupid, etc., when if you were focused up over the past 2 years, you could have repositioned and you could be in a better place. So that's how you want to view things moving forward, in my opinion, but we'll digress. How'd you come up with the name Magus? I haven't had that question in a long time. So brace yourself for the nerd, but Magus is you can Google this, by the way, because I didn't make it up or anything. Magus is a term for like a wizard or a mage, right? So Magus is like the word that mage comes from, and most of you guys are probably nerdy enough to know the word mage or wizard. In video games, I just always liked being the wizard character. You can ask any of my friends. I have a bunch of people on CT that I play video games with. Your boy's always the wizard. It just always resonated with me. So when I made this account, I had like 3 followers, so it didn't matter anyway. So I just made this account, and I was just like, I'm gonna be Magus. Which originally all my branding stuff was like fire mage shit. It was all like mage on fire branding. But yeah, that's how I came up with the name. I just figured wizardry and mage and magic and stuff had a good tied into trading kind of well, because everybody thinks that they're about to be a fucking wizard that's gonna rub on the crystal ball. But yeah, TLDR, we fuck with wizards up in here. $4 Cardano in 2024? Probably, honestly. As painful as that would be for people to see, probably will. Oh, that was a recommended video? Yeah, guys. I put this tweet out the other day. It's really useful to go in on incognito mode and look at YouTube and look at trading, like crypto trading shit. Oh my goodness. Now you gotta refresh Elroad. There's not only 18 likes. But that's another clean segue. We're about to end the stream in just a couple of minutes here. Do me a favor, press that like button. It helps us out a lot. We have less likes than viewers currently, so pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. 3 kings equals 3 mages. Interesting. That actually might be a real thing. Not even gonna lie. Signaling versus doing the work. I don't know what to say about BLZ. BLZ is straight up getting scammed. Anybody trading BLZ is getting rugged right now in real time, probably. All right, everybody. That is going to do it for the day. Hopefully we have an exciting rest of the week. And I'll see you next Tuesday, probably. Cheers, everybody. Press that like button for me.